In this episode, we make a fabulous announcement that could involve you. Paul thinks I look like a movie star. Adam and Paul admit to both being lazy landscape photographers. Paul's mouth turns potty and Adam seizes every opportunity to plug his raw room. Oh, and his prints as well. But for the record, he still refuses to play that damn guitar. Buckle up, it's another podcast.
So, we've got an idea, haven't we, guys?
I was looking at Adam.
Haphazard way that she starts.
I was looking at Adam. I thought you were going to
Do you want me to give?
a professional. Yeah. I think that's good.
What? Cheeky.
What? What you said about swearing a minute ago?
Yeah, because that's not going to go on video, is it? He said,
Isn't
we
it?
want someone
Oh, it is
professional. We want somebody professional who looks at him.
I didn't even look at myself.
3, 2, 1, go.
No, it's already
we already
in.
started, yeah.
You go,
We're not doing that.
beep it.
You do have to beep it, or you can't monetize it.
Oh, that's true.
Really?
Yeah.
What word did you say that I have to be?
He called you. He called you a. So we've had an idea. Do you want me to start the camera?
Yes.
Start it to the camera.
Yeah, do it to the camera.
So we've had an idea. We want to have a bit more interaction with everybody, and we thought, having Gary here with his big studio, that we would put on a bit of an evening, and you can come down, meet us. We'll talk to you a little bit. Then we can have a bit of a Q&A session. Then we can just have a bit of a nice time, get to know each other, a bit of social interaction, that kind of thing. Just a social evening, really, where we can meet you and just have a good time, really. So we will arrange a date. When you're watching this, have a look in the description below or check on the photonerds.co.uk website for the date. We'll put it on Instagram. We'll advertise it as widely as possible and hopefully give Gary a hard time the next day to clear everything up because it's been such good crack. So
You see how he's hogging the camera now?
I know.
Yeah, he's got his first man mode. No,
And it's free.
and it's free.
Free.
Did you say, because I wasn't listening, did you say that we're going to podcast it?
no, I didn't.
Yeah, we're going to podcast it and we're going to hand a microphone around and we're going to ask for questions and then we're going to talk around the subject. Yeah. And the other thing, what else did we say?
It was a live Q&A session.
Yeah, there was something
It's
else.
more really for the social aspect, I think.
Yeah.
To be honest, because that's why we've decided to make it free.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it free?
Okay.
Cool.
Free.
No swearing.
No swearing.
No swearing on the
Will
night
there be
before.
food?
Will there be food?
Oh, I'm going to sit now. We're going to put a price on the door. Yeah, it's completely free, but if you want coffee, it's £8 a cup.
Don't get a hot dog van in the car park.
A man's got to eat.
There was something else. There was podcasting and something else and I've forgotten what it was. But it can't be that important.
It's going to be good, isn't it?
It is, it'll be a laugh.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Again, us just giving something back. But it's a social side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really. Right, this week's vlog.
And we're going to stop that now.
This week's
or we're going
podcast.
to have a break. And
No, I'll just go with it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that will edit. Fine,
Okay, it'll edit. Right,
Are you trying to add some sort of professionalism into
No,
our
I'm
podcast?
worried about your edit.
No, there's no editing. It's just going straight on.
Yeah.
Questions for this week then. What have we got?
You go for it.
I think the camera one was the good one.
What?
Camera one.
What camera one?
Yeah.
What,
The
on a
one about
photography podcast?
the one about photography.
Bad habits.
Oh, we talked about photography a lot last week, and now you want to talk about photography again?
Yeah, no, personal bad habits. I get told off by my daughter for picking my nose. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that's
What
exactly
wasn't
it.
it about?
Bad
I
habits.
don't know. I'm out of the loop on this one.
So you don't have any bad habits?
Photography bad habits. What's that shooting in aperture priority?
Do you know a bad habit I do have, right?
Right.
This is one that irritates me so much because I just don't seem to be able to correct it. Is I'm not, I'm a control freak probably, but I'm not a perfectionist, right? So I never try to get things perfect because I think you can either do one thing perfectly or you can do 10 things to 90%. And I think the latter is better for me.
Yeah.
Because you get more done. But one thing I do get perfect is when I'm framing a print that I've sold. So if I sell a print, I want it to be perfect. I want you to know if you're spending money on buying my artwork that you're getting something special. But every time I do it, without fail, I will do something stupid. And I'm not really clumsy. But for example, take the cellophane off the frame once I get it custom made. And then you've got usually the ones I sell because it allows you to post them. It uses Perspex cover instead of glass, so it's susceptible to scratches. So you've got to be really careful with it. And I wear like white gloves, but almost every time I'll just turn and knock it and cause a scratch. At which point that frame is done for, and I've got to get another one.
Yeah.
Every single time I do something like that where I damage whatever I'm trying, whether it's the mat or the print itself or the frame or the packaging, whatever, I will damage something just through clumsiness, and it's just gone. You got to replace it and do it.
You
again.
should sell distressed frames. And that eradicates that issue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go down the market and sell
then
your frames second hand. Seconds.
Maybe. I usually, if I do that, I'll just usually keep it for myself and put it up on my own wall, knowing that.
Give it away
I've
for
mucked it
Christmas.
up. Yeah, give it away. That's it.
Yeah.
Only you could turn the question of bad habits into a self-publicised I sell prints.
People know I sell prints. But it's a bad habit.
I'll tell you what your bad habit is.
Go on.
Every time we try and have a conversation, you always bring it round to you selling prints.
I don't think I've ever done that before.
You never have. You never have.
Do you know what bad habit that you have?
Oh, go on.
Looking at your phone. Looking at
I'm
your
going to
phone.
put this over here.
No, because I've got topics on it that we need to
But
talk
we don't
about.
need it. We've got our topic now.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
right.
going to leave it over here.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you uncomfortable now, aren't you?
No,
I can see
no,
like yeah. That's Gary's bad habit corrected.
Yeah.
I have a bad habit. It's I must have one leg shorter than the other. All the years I've been a wedding photographer, whenever I look at the pictures, so everything is handheld, is always at a slight angle. I'm not joking. Always. And I know it, and I still can't correct
Gary,
it.
if you look at yourself in the mirror, mate, I'm not being funny, but one of your eyes is 1.5 inches higher than the other one. Have you ever watched The Goonies?
Something like that.
Gary, have you ever watched The Goonies?
Yeah, no,
You know, there's a bloke that's sat in chained up, and you look just like him. Seriously, you do. You're a spit image of him.
Again, none taken.
So you
No,
reckon
I-
it's,
I'm
you
gonna
reckon
show you the
You reckon
picture.
it's because one
He
leg's
says,
longer than the other?
he says,
Oh.
he's no, because one eye is 1.5 inches higher, don't you see? I'm being silly.
Jeez.
I'm going to show you the picture, and you said none taken. When you see it, you're going to go mad.
Yeah.
Go
Don't
on,
show
go,
me a
go,
picture
go.
like Wayne Rooney.
No,
or
no, no.
We won't speak to each
worse
other
than
again. Yeah. It's
Here we
worse
go.
than that.
Sorry, it's called Sloth.
That's an
There it
interesting.
is, mate. That's you.
Oh, yeah. Well, dead ringer. Yeah, I'm sure people at home are Googling it right now. If you listen on podcast, by the way, and you've never seen us on a video, I look exactly like that.
Yeah. Sloth from The
Identical.
Goonies.
That's an interesting point, though. So, just generally with photography, do you like straight lines? Do you like your lines to be straight?
I do.
Oh.
And you know when you shoot a seascape and you slightly at an angle from looking straight out to sea, and you get that horizon that just goes up a little bit, and you can't straighten it, because if you straighten it, everything else goes out of kilter. Really, for when my personal shots, there's loads that I've been
It's
when I've done
it's
that.
one of the things I've been considering recently. Let's say landscape photography, but it's true for lots of genres of photography. If you decide to have a horizon at an angle, is that a creative decision, or is that objectively wrong?
It's a really difficult one. What I would say is I've taken shots because creatively the shot, the composition of the slot looked right, but when I've got it back into post-processing and I look at it, in my eye it looks wrong.
Yeah.
No, the horizon's always level, no matter which angle you shoot it at.
Yeah, but
it's
if
always
you,
level.
Yeah, no, but if you
So
shoot,
if you choose in
can
your
get-
frame to have it,
yeah, you can have. So if you shoot directly out to sea, it'll be level. But if you go off to one to the left or to the right, particularly if you've got headland, it can look like it's going up.
yeah.
And it's not. It's just the way that you've shot the shot. So I've seen it a couple of times where people have commented on other people's images to say that the horizon is off, and it isn't. It's just the way that it looks in camera, or the perspective, I should say. And I've made that mistake myself. But I'll tell you what does wind me up. Is when people take images of lighthouses or castles or something, and it's wonky. You know, because you get the perspective issue.
Yeah.
Straighten it. Yeah, but you can straighten it, can't you?
That's kind of my point,
Lightroom?
though. So if you purposely have a horizon diagonal in your frame, is that, and you're doing it on purpose, is that subjectively okay, or is it objectively wrong? That's
Are you talking from a personal level, or are you talking from?
it's subjectively it would be personal, but is it objectively wrong?
Yeah, but
Is it wrong to do that? That's
No,
what-
no. The answer to that is easy. Really, is that if you're going to take your horizon off level, then it needs to be far enough to be creative. If it's off slightly, it means it's a mistake. If it's a 45-degree angle, then you've not made a mistake by taking it at that angle. Then that's a creative decision you as a photographer has made. It'll be wrong, by the way, but
Yeah, but that's kind of my point. I mean, that's a good way of putting it. But say at what point does it become objective? So if 99% of people don't like a non-straight horizon, so it's not on a diagonal creatively. If 99% of people don't like that, does it become objective?
it's awkward for landscapes. For portraits, it's fairly commonplace. For weddings, it's fairly commonplace. But for landscapes, it's simply because the horizon is natural to our eye, level.
Yeah.
And the minute it goes outside of that, I mean, that's usually one of the biggest mistakes that learners make, is when they're posting pictures to social media. If the horizon is slightly off being perfectly level, it's really off-putting to the human eye.
Yeah.
Really off-putting.
I know what you mean. I can't find the image that I want to
Because
show.
I'm not a big fan of lines not being straight. So in a portrait, for example, if you've gone a bit off, and then you've got, like, say, you've got a window behind, and you can see the window frame.
Yeah.
I want that window frame to be straight.
Yeah.
In the background, even
Yeah.
if it's in background blur,
Yeah.
I want that window to be straight in the background.
I mean, it doesn't go. It's not. We're not going to talk about Fibonacci here, but it is due to composition and how your eyes work.
Yeah,
and
so
what
that's
looks right and what
that's
looks
where my
wrong.
question about
Yeah.
is it objective coming from?
It would look wrong to me in camera, so I would automatically skew things in camera.
So if it doesn't suit the maths of
Yeah.
composition,
Yeah, it does
does
suit.
it become objectively wrong? That's kind of
Yeah.
I don't have an answer.
I think
So
it depends whether you shoot in fine art or whether you shoot in fine art. Somebody said one of the comments on the video we mentioned fine art was it's used a lot for people shooting nudes. Nude photography
Is that
is
what it
classed
said?
as fine art. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I didn't have that analogy because I've never shot nudes. So for me, fine art is artistic. You doing what you want in camera to get an artistic result. Well, if you want a diagonal going all the way through the image, but then when you try and sell it as something other than that, that's when it becomes a problem. So if it's compositionally wrong and somebody's saying, well, what they're doing is they're creating a balanced image, when compositionally it really isn't.
Yeah, I guess
then-
if you were just looking at a sort of classic sort of wide angle landscape shot, it wouldn't feel right if the horizon was
No.
That's a really good comment, because what this is the thing is when people talk about an eye, I don't know what that really means, having an eye for a shot. But when I look through a viewfinder, I'm not thinking, well, actually, this has got to be rules of thirds, and this has got to be Fibonacci, and this has got to be this, and this has got to be that. It either looks right to me in my eye, or a camera, or it doesn't. So a lot of people, which there's nothing wrong with, will have a spirit level on the top of the camera, or they'll use the in-camera thing to get things level. I can see by looking through that it's not level. And don't get me wrong, there is small instances where I'm a little bit off and I just have to alter it a little bit in Lightroom, but it's very rare these days.
You know, one thing I love is that when I have that opinion, when I think I like lines to be straight. What I like as well is that when I'm proven wrong. So say if someone shows me an image with a horizon, there's someone out there now who's hearing what I'm saying. They're sat at home with this amazing image on their computer where they've put the horizon at a 45-degree angle. If I then see that and I'm surprised by it, and they prove me wrong, I love that. I love.
But where in real life would your horizon, unless you're drunk,
No,
be at 45-degree angle?
Well, it wouldn't, would it?
It doesn't work.
No, it might work from an artistic
Yeah, that's what
point
I'm
of
talking
view.
about. If I see
you know, but I love this intentional camera movement pictures that people are doing. There's one guy, you don't like it. You can see Gary, but there's one guy that Thomas Eaton had on his channel, and he does it, and his images look like a Turner painting, and I really like it from an artistic point of view. I think it's awesome from an artistic point of view. From a purely photographic point of view, it's not really a photograph anymore. Other than you're writing with light, I suppose. It's the terminology, isn't it? But if you like it, great. But if you're taking a picture of a landscape image for it to be a landscape image, and the horizon's at 45 degrees, is that actually it is obviously a landscape image because you've taken a picture of it, but it doesn't sit right with anybody's brain because our head's cocked at 45 degrees.
I've never seen one that works ever.
No.
I think the minute you walk away from water,
Yeah.
okay, then you can get away with it. So if you want to shoot buildings, then yeah, perfect. Shove it on a 45-degree angle. It's great. Then you can afford to look for angles and be really creative with your photography. But the minute water is in place, the human eye knows that to be level.
Yeah, that's true. Because gravity makes it level. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even waterfalls, if you're trying to take a picture of a middle of a waterfall and it doesn't sit right, then you adjust it in your crop to make it fall better, if that makes sense. But that can only work if you can't see the floor.
Usually, if you're taking a picture of a waterfall, you will have flat water in it as well, either at the base of the waterfall or at the top.
Usually.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
Actually, in that picture I took in North Yorkshire, you don't, with a rainbow. But
Yeah.
No, I mean, sometimes if you got it wrong at a 45-degree angle, you can go in close, crop in, and you'll get some sort of image that wouldn't work normally with a normal landscape shot because you take the horizon or out of the equation.
So how sort of pernickety are you about getting that right in camera?
Absolutely. In camera?
Yeah.
What, when I'm shooting weddings?
Not weddings, landscapes,
landscapes.
more so.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I cannot take a picture unless I get the level.
Yeah.
I can't.
At the time of shooting.
At the time of
Do
shooting.
you ever get in there and you've got to alter it a couple of degrees in Lightroom or Photoshop?
No.
Never.
I'm lazy. I won't always get it right in camera. Like, it'll be 1 or 2 degrees.
So will I, because that's what I say. I do it by eye.
Especially because I'm using a ball head,
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I use a ball head for a number of reasons, but one of the downsides of that is that it's harder to get.
But people are going to be screaming at us
level.
because we talk about slow down. There really is no excuse, is there? If you think about it,
I'm
there's
lazy.
no
That's my excuse.
Yeah, and me. Because I don't know if it's lazy. It's just because 99.9% of the time when I see it as level, it's level. And when I do change things in Lightroom, it's because I'm a degree off, and I'm just thinking, hang on a minute, what an idiot! I got that wrong.
I even do it with my vlogging camera. If I'm going to take a time lapse, for instance, I never set the time lapse going until I have a green horizontal line. It has to be perfect every time. And not only that, but I don't want to then have to start post-processing my B-roll. Do you know what I mean? It's bad enough with my normal roll, let alone my B-roll. Jeez. No, but I think I'm more conscious of it because uncontrollably I can't get it right in camera when I shoot weddings. But that's genuine. That's absolutely genuine.
Yeah.
I'm shocking for it. But
you're acting much more swiftly with wedding photography, aren't you? It's not.
oh, of course, yeah, it's on the fly.
You don't have
everything's
you don't
live
have the
and stuff.
time
Yeah.
to be thinking all the time about your levels.
Yeah.
You're just doing it on feel, aren't
Yeah.
you, rather than judging it.
The other
Yeah.
thing that we're discussing is we're discussing we're discussing from a perspective where primarily at least 2 out of the 3, if they're going out and shooting, they're shooting and vlogging at the same time. So you know how you're saying the laziness aspect. Well, you're going to set the camera up, have it what you think's right, but you're not going to spend an hour and a half getting it dead level because you've got other things to think about as well.
I don't think I was any different when I just did.
Well, you're not.
When I wasn't filming though.
That's honest.
I don't think I was.
But how many times would you say? Because I can't remember the last time I used the leveling tool.
I mean, yeah, because it's only on since I had the Canon 5D Mark IV that I had. Did the Mark III have a leveler on it?
No, I mean the leveling.
Yeah.
I didn't mean the leveling tool in camera. I mean the leveling tool on Lightroom to straighten up the
Oh,
horizon.
right, yeah,
I
I mean-
can't remember the last time I used it.
Oh no, I use it all the time.
But again, it doesn't mean to say you're doing it wrong. Well, it does.
Well, I am.
You are,
No, I
let's
am.
be honest.
Yeah, there was only. Where's you remember? You know where Cockett Island is? It's Lower Hawksley. I did a vlog from that, and I shot at an angle to the horizon, and the way the perspective worked with the foreground element and the sea, it looked cockeyed, and it wasn't cockeyed. It's just the perspective of how the angles worked. And if I put the horizon straight,
Yeah, I know
then
what
the
you mean.
rest looked wrong. And that shot really irritates me so much so that's what I was doing. If anybody's watching me looking at my phone, I was looking for it on my Instagram feed, and I've archived it. Because the shot doesn't sit well with my head.
One thing I do is that when just talk about me not using the straightening tool all the time, that obviously crops it a bit, doesn't it? What I do though is when every time I take an image and I do my composition, check around the edge of my frame, and if there are things that are only just making it into the frame, like a rock in some water or something, or a tree that I want to get the whole tree in, and I'm checking around the outside of my frame, and if there are things that are just right, it's at that point I will take more care about how level I am. If I can't afford for that frame to be cropped at all, I'll be much more accurate with how straight I am. But many times you can afford to lose a degree or two with straightening.
I think we were talking. Are we still on bad habits or not? Have we moved on?
Well, that's another bad habit of mine, isn't it? Not getting it straight.
Yeah.
Gary's like, it is. Yeah.
Well, I suppose it is true because it takes a second, doesn't it, to get right?
Yeah.
It takes a second.
Yeah, but you're not 10 degrees off.
No.
Or 15 degrees off.
It feels like a bad habit.
Yeah.
Now that you've kind of been saying to me, it feels like a bad habit.
no,
I'm using the straightening tool all the time.
Yeah. It's like your crop tool. Your crop tool is by far the photographer's preferred tool out of anything that I could recommend.
Is it your secret weapon?
Can you imagine not having your crop tool?
The problem is, and I'll be honest with you, you know what? I'll go into Lightroom and there's the traditional crops, isn't there? And I always prefer the one that I shot with in camera. I have a number
3x2.
The number of times that I've gone and changed it and then changed it back again. So it's horses for courses, isn't it?
I usually, when I'm using different cameras, like to shoot with the aspect ratio that the camera provides.
Me too.
I don't know why.
3x2, yeah.
Yeah, but the medium format is not, and your phone isn't either. That's like, it's 4x3, isn't it? A lot of times. And the medium format is more square as well. And I like to go with what. Maybe that's just a little challenge. On that occasion.
Well, it shows you're seeing what you're seeing with looking through the.
I don't like
sharp.
3x2.
You don't.
No.
So what do you crop your images to? 16
by 9 if I can.
And 16 by 9.
That's my preferred.
Is that because you're looking at them on the screen?
Do
you think? Or more?
Well, no. TVs are 16 by 9 for a reason. Because it's natural for the human being to look at them. I'm not saying don't do square crops. I don't do square crops. But I'm not saying not to. I'm not saying don't shoot or compose 3x2. Sometimes I do 3x2.
Because as soon as you start to print, though, your 16 by 9 isn't that helpful anymore.
It's not.
Paper sizes.
No, exactly. And
You're having
also,
to slice off.
Unless you get a custom frame, how it goes in the frame as well.
Yeah, all
Custom
frame
mounts.
a lot of frame sizes are sort of customized. Or no, the
You mean
standard
the ones you sell?
No, the standard frame sizes are all based around A3, A4, aren't they? That's more 3x2, 4x6. Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I can understand it. One of my bad habits is getting the composition.
Sorry, Paul, do you have any bad habits?
Yeah,
We don't
you never asked me, do you? But it was a funny one because I have a habit of getting the composition and it's been great, and then I start fiddling with it. And the composition is never as good once I've fiddled with it. You know, you're talking about getting, because one of your bugbears, isn't it, is that things are half poking into peeping in. And I've started looking at my edges now and then tweak things and thought, no, I was right in the first place. And then I have to go back to where I'd originally composed it.
That's
so
annoying when you do that, isn't it? When you feel like you've had it perfect, you muck about, and then you think, I need to go back now to what I had before.
And that sometimes can be information overload. So because in the subconscious with what Gary was saying, I was trying to do something that I've not done for years and years and years, and it messed up my work. It messes up my workflow sometimes. It's not you, Gary, but me fiddling around with.
It can be similar in post production as well, can't it? When you edit if you edit for too long, maybe put in a bit too much contrast or a bit too much saturation.
Got a tip of the week.
Have you?
Yeah, tip of the week is, and then loads of people say they do it anyway, but when you've been editing for a while and you're struggling, go away, go and have a cup of tea, even switch the computer off and come back 24 hours later, and something that you think looks awful, you go the next day and you think that's not too bad.
Yeah. I would say
vice versa.
Yeah. Or just press delete. Do you think that's a good tip, Gary?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
A similar tip that you can do as well is when, as soon as you load it as soon as you bring that up into the develop module or whatever you're doing, you're editing in, edit it in 1 minute. Just set your timer, for 1 minute and edit it in 1 minute and see what you can do. Just with the normal sliders, even if you can drag in a gradient quickly to darken the sky off. Just try doing it in 1 minute and see what it looks like. And I bet you, if you do that a few times, that won't look that much better if you spend 3 hours on it. I bet if you're trying to get stuff right in camera,
I can understand what
give
you're
it a
saying.
go.
Yeah.
See how quickly you can edit
No,
it
I get that.
and see how good it looks. And
I mean, but the thing is if you're editing such as, I know because you'll batch edit, I presume, your wedding images, but you must know your go-to settings. You know, when you get...
absolutely.
So, you know, for my sunsets, I've got go-to settings for sunrises and the same, and for certain genres, whether it's woodland or whether it's shooting in rainy conditions, I know roughly what my settings are going to be.
yeah.
And then it is fine-tuning.
Yeah, and then you've got... I think a lot of your style comes from that as well, doesn't it?
I think it does. I think it does.
The way you control the colour.
Because I know you've got certain colours that you use that with your split toning and stuff that make your images, aren't they?
Yeah. Or is that a
make-
bad habit? Is it a bad habit doing the same thing each time?
I'll be honest with you. What I end up doing is I've got my settings, but the way I've established those settings is by spending hours on an image, not trying to fine-tune the image, but by playing around with the settings in the post-processing software to see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah. It's interesting if you do because having now put a few presets together.
Yeah.
If you have what you're talking about, you have a similar way that you edit every time. Set that up as a preset, and then you can apply it to lots of different images, and you start to get an idea of where those things work, what type of images that will work on, and what it won't. It's just
I think
interesting sort of.
I do that all the time.
So do I. I've got loads of presets in my computer that I've created myself that work for certain shots.
Yeah.
And then I actually categorize them. So they're in, for example, I've got woodland presets and different categories like that. And then I'll think, well, that may work. But the way I've come across those presets, there's two ways to do it. Number one, you spend hours on an image, get it right, and think that's a great preset, and you click it in, or you can experiment. And what I'm thinking of saying is I'll normally experiment and play around and think that looks good.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I especially do it with black and white. Yeah, I mean, it's the same for me with weddings when we're talking about presets, is that I think that if you want to have consistency and show a client consistency in work, then black and whites, for instance, keep consistency with how you create a black and white or how you convert an image to black and white.
Yeah.
Don't have it so it's black and white with a hint of green, then black and white with a hint of red, and then it's sepia. Just keep it consistent so it looks very professional on your website.
Yeah,
It looks
if
professional,
you're
but-
delivering a product. Yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think as you're learning and practicing, I think it's important.
You've got to play with it. There's
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is when I look at your images, because I've been privileged enough to see your wedding photographs in your studio, you have a style. And that style is obviously compositional elements, but the way that you post-process your image. So I could look at a group of images, and I would say that wedding photograph there was shot by Gary Goff, and that's the experiences of your post-processing skills.
Yeah, I think
in
it's
black
just,
and white.
Just keep it consistent.
But you've
think that's
learned
true.
that over many years, haven't you?
If I'm delivering a set of wedding images, there'll be one style for the black and white and then a different style for the colour. Like it's not, and I'll stick to that. So you haven't got a whole range of saturations in your colour images and a whole range of contrasts in your black and whites. There'll be a consistent look down the, one set of colour, one set of black and white, and they'll be consistent, and they almost fit together as well. If
you shot your black and white images with a hint of green as a style and Gary Goff image for a wedding photography, for wedding photograph, you're not going to then think, well, actually, I'll try it with sepia. That'll be your style, won't it? That preset.
Within the same set of images.
Within the same set of images.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to look.
But imagine if you're a client, it's your wedding. You get your images back.
Some are brown, some
you've
are
got
green,
some
some
green,
are blue.
some blue, some sepia.
Yeah.
It would be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
It wouldn't look
it's true.
professional. It wouldn't look professional, I don't think.
No, and I can't even think of a counter argument for it either.
There is none.
It just, if I'm honest, it just looks very inexperienced. If you look at somebody's website, I would obviously this is on a business aspect,
Yeah, yeah,
not
absolutely.
not landscape photography, where we urge you to practice and play around and experiment. But from a business point of view, if you look at somebody's website and you don't see consistency throughout, then alarm bells must ring.
Yeah, you should be delivering a consistent product.
Yeah.
Like it's that people are paying good money for.
Yeah, but it comes your
Yeah.
style. Why would somebody choose you over somebody down the road? They'll look at your portfolio online and think, I love the way he produces his images.
Yeah,
It's not just the post processing, is it?
It's not. It's the whole
Yeah.
gamut. But if you rubbish at post-processing wedding images, then they're going to look like the guy who's took it with his iPhone. Did you see that thing? It's going around at the moment where somebody ruined the wedding photography shot, the key shot of them coming out of the church by sticking their iPhone in front of the wedding photographer.
Really?
And they got the blurred iPhone shot of somebody taking the iPhone. Have you ever encountered that, Gary?
yeah, but we take a lot more control over our weddings.
Do you?
We do get it all the time.
Yeah.
We
It
do.
must be so frustrating.
I'll go straight down, and I'll even stop a bride and groom walking down the aisle.
Really?
In a nice way.
Yeah.
People, one shot I take that the client always seems to really like is where you've got one of their mates taking a picture on a phone,
Yeah.
and you get behind them
And you photograph it,
You
yeah,
photograph the phone,
Yeah.
and then the couple are then blurred out in the background.
Yep.
Right.
So you got the image on the phone.
Yeah,
really
that's
sharp,
a good idea.
And then they're blurred out in the background.
And we do that all the time. I'm not sticking the mud. You know what? Because some people will just have an iPad as their camera at a wedding, and they'll lean into the aisle and they'll go to take a picture. Well, I'll see that as a photo opportunity
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well. I'll rush,
absolutely.
and sometimes I'll tap them on the shoulder if I've just missed that shot, and I'll say, just aim at them again. And of course, they're like that and
But
compose the shot. Yeah.
it makes the
Great.
guest feel comfortable as well, then, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That you're not in combat.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's just some people are rude. They will step literally out into the aisle just to grab that shot because they want that shot.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it's rude. It is rude, but I think they don't think they think, do they?
it's
They're not on the
It's
radar.
always that, of course. Yeah.
Thought
Yeah.
process. They're not thinking.
Maybe
always
maybe
that.
that's another bad habit. Getting in the way of a wedding photographer.
Shall I tell you? Here's Mr. High Horse again. I need a cushion because I'm not as tall as you. But my high horse's bad habits or rudeness is when photographers walk along and stand in front of you when you're taking an image, a landscape image, and walk down the beach and stand in front of you.
I'm not sure about that one
Oh, why not?
because
So if you're-
I don't think you have any right to that landscape.
Well, it's like you don't have any right to your view, isn't it? It's still annoying if somebody builds a house in front of your house.
Yeah,
So,
true.
what I'm saying is I'm saying there's no right to it, and people will say that you've got no right. But you're stood on a beach taking a sunset, and it's coming 5 minutes before sunset. And you've been there for an hour, and somebody walks in front of you 20 yards and steps up in front of you. Would you be annoyed?
Are they a photographer?
Yeah, you would if they were a photographer.
If they're
Landscape
just
photographer.
dog walkers.
No,
though.
no, a landscape photographer.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't say anything, and I would think they're a dick for doing it.
I'd say something.
I wouldn't say anything because people are going to do what they're going to do, aren't they? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that kind of confrontation. I also, if they want to stand there, they can stand there. Like, I don't have any right to that scene. So if they want to be that dick that stands there, fair play to
Would
you.
you?
Go for it.
But
Like,
you've used the terminology that you've just used there. But would you think it is rude?
yeah, he's rude,
So
but I wouldn't try to stop it.
I've countered your argument there then, because you said, well, everybody's got a right to landscape. You think they're a dick and they're rude. That's all I was saying.
Okay, yeah, all right.
You know what I
yes,
mean?
Yeah. There's been times when I've been running workshops and tours and stuff where there's 5 or 6 of us set up in a location.
Yeah.
And then someone who's not a member of our party will get in front of us, and you can sense people starting to get annoyed about it, and then they just start discussing between themselves. Let's go and say something, and I'll discourage them from doing that because I don't think if you're on a beach and someone wants to stand in front of your camera, there's nothing you can do.
No, I agree.
Right? So you have no right to tell them move.
And you know me as a landscape photographer, I never have, but it doesn't mean that it don't rile me.
No, it does rally. But equally, although
says
you
that-
have no right to make them move, you can ask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like-
the thing is I was at Dunstanburgh about a year or so ago, and it happened twice. The first time, there were 3 landscape photographers. 2 of them just walked up about 50 yards in front of me, and I was taking a picture of the boulders in the castle and set up in front of me. Another guy walked past, and he says, "Do you mind, because I'm going right down the beach there, do you mind I might be in your shot?" I said, "No problem at all, because I'll just take you out." And that's the difference between...
People are funny. Huh?
Yeah, but I mean, I edited both people sets out. It wasn't a problem in post. But, I mean, the guy who asked me the question, I couldn't see him. He was a speck. He'd gone that far down the beach. The people who'd set up in front of me were talking 50, 60 yards. You know what I mean? And you could obviously tell.
See, I just find that funny.
Yeah.
Like, I find that level of rudeness funny. Like, it's just...
I
I'm not
laughed
going to get upset
I
about
laughed
that.
at-
Like,
laughed
if
at the
you're
time.
that kind of person who's going to do that. Like,
Yeah.
The thing is, I
luck
I would challenge them because they're arseholes. It's as simple as that. And the only reason why I say that is because if I want to go forward of somebody that's taking a picture and they're there before me, I'll ask them,
Yeah.
mate, either how long are you going to be, or like that person said to you, Paul, I want to take a shot right from the edge. Is that okay with you? Do you know what I mean?
What we're saying is, if
Come
you're
on,
if you're listening and you're the sort of person that stands in front of another landscape photographer,
Yeah.
it's a bad habit.
It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. So much so, I was shooting at Bamborough, and there was about 6 or 7 landscape photographers all stood up, taking a picture of the archetypal thing, and I couldn't get my shot. Because I was in front of them and I was in the reeds. So what I did is I stripped down to my swimming trunks and ran in front of them, going into the sea and just had a swim.
Oh, that wouldn't have been a good.
This is why
a good sight.
I'm
wouldn't it?
joking.
This is exactly why I climb up mountains
Yeah.
at sunset, because no one else is up there.
No.
You get it to yourself, especially in the winter.
Yeah.
I'll go out in bad weather. You don't get. You won't
Bad
have
weather. Bad weather is awesome.
You
know
won't have
there's
anyone
not many
stood in front of
people
you
out.
then.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. There it is. That's why I always say in the winter it's great because lazy people stay at home.
It's true.
It's so true, though, isn't it?
Lazy people don't climb mountains either.
Oh, I tell you what, we went up Haystacks last week. It was really busy.
Was it?
Yeah, the landscape was really nice, but it was really busy up there. I was really surprised.
Yeah.
Really surprised. I was expecting myself and maybe 1 or 2 other people up there.
What
There
time
was
were you up there?
Quite a few. It was a Saturday as well, to be fair. Well, we were up there all night. We were well camped. But,
Oh, did you?
Yeah. The sunset was so nice that when it started kicking in and the colours were great, there was a whole bunch of kids that obviously set up a short distance away from where we were. But by the tarn, have you been up?
Yeah.
Okay, well, by that time, all the kids were all around there playing music and stuff. So clearly they were there to have a party. I don't have a problem with that at all. And I actually said it in my video, the sunset was so good that all those kids all came up right to the very, very top where we were.
Right.
And actually they were all taking pictures and selfies. But I love that. I think that's brilliant. Because even they enjoyed the sunset that much. I thought it was fantastic. Really, really good. But nobody stood in front of me.
It's quite. I mean, you've got a bit of space up there anyway, haven't you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, you have.
Good photographs.
Cool.
Are we done? No, I
No,
think we're all
plenty of
stopped. Like we're going else.
I think we were just pondering being at the top of a mountain at sunset.
Yeah,
no-
it'd be nice today.
There's nowhere else better, really. Is
Right
there?
nice today.
You know when you said you moved my phone away from me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And now I feel uncomfortable. Well, that's because I've got nothing to put in my hands. Because when it's at my studio, this cup is always full of coffee.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know about you, Paul, but I'm
Yeah.
actually withering away.
You're withering away.
I've had
Yeah,
nothing to
absolutely.
eat. You get fed and water at my place.
There's fruit there.
Oh, some fruit up there. Yeah. Okay.
I was going to suggest we go out for dinner afterwards, but
Wasted away. We're all wasted away, aren't we?
Hey, I've got a question for you.
Good man.
I thought about this the other day. What magazines do you read?
on photography.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Well, you know, what magazines do you read?
Do you read
You don't need to go to the top
magazines
shelf anymore,
anymore?
No, I did.
I think that's really sad.
Up until about 6 or 7 years ago, probably. I used to read magazines, but
The only time I read photography magazines is when I'm on holiday and the Wi-Fi isn't good enough. And I just want to chill out and switch the computers off and stuff. And now I'll maybe go to WH Smith and pick up a couple of 3 magazines and enjoy rifling through them and having that tactile feeling of going through the
But magazines are
themselves.
great now. But who actually subscribes to magazines? Whether it's in a digital format or whether it's through the post. Who actually does that now?
I think there must be lots, otherwise they'd be out of business. But I'll give you an example. Is we've talked about tactility and what we like to do and don't like to do. If I'm going to use electronic methods to use a book, I will do it via audible means. So I'll listen to a book.
Right.
But if I'm reading a book, I can't use a Kindle. I just don't like doing it. I far prefer to have the pages in front of me.
Right, okay.
And so magazines are also, I do get a little bit of pleasure from actually being able to rifle through the magazine.
Yeah, I mean, the images do look nicer in print as well, don't they? But one of my, I was speaking to someone who was an ex-editor of one of the big magazines the other day, and he was saying that he doesn't do that anymore, but he's happy now because he can choose the paper stock that he really likes. So he spent his entire time as editor of this magazine having arguments with the company because he wanted to use a slightly better paper stock, but they wouldn't let him because of cost.
Oh, right, okay.
So you end up, I mean, it's that very glossy kind of paper a lot of the time, isn't it? Which doesn't
Sunday
make the images
editorial,
always look quite as good.
I mean, I think if you've should say had magazines for a number of months, what you do find is the same old things get repeated every so often. There might be some good gear reviews in there and stuff like that, but you can get that online. It's just when you get the odd, 6-page spread that Adam Carnach or Gary Goff has done, and it follows you. I find those really interesting to read, but you can read that online as well. Yeah,
but I think, unless I'm mistaken, I think it's a shame that they're not available anymore. I mean, I don't know because I can't remember the last time I ever went to WH Smith's.
But yeah, they are. They're still
available.
Yeah, they
Digital
still are.
photo and
Yeah, but
amateur photography
as many. I don't know. By the way, I'm asking the question. I don't know.
I think there's almost as many. I'm sure a few of them will have gone out of production, but a lot of them now offer the same thing, but online. So you'll just upload it online so you can read it.
Is there a landscape photography magazine?
Well, there's Outdoor Photographer, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's one of the bigger ones that runs that competition. Runs the competition.
Oh,
as well.
okay. I know Digital Camera Magazine. I used to subscribe to that a lot, but
That's still going, I think.
But we used to advertise an awful lot in magazines. I don't even think we have. I'm not even sure. I don't think we advertise in magazines anymore. But what I have got in the studio is hundreds and hundreds of magazines unopened. Where you advertise, they send you the magazine, so you can see your advert in the magazine. I have hundreds of them, and do you know what? I cannot bring myself around to throwing them away.
Oh, that's nice.
I can't.
Sentimentality.
Even though I
isn't
don't
it?
open them and I don't read them, at one point I believe I will.
Yeah,
Even if
of
I'm looking
course.
for inspiration or for
Yeah.
ideas. But that's what magazines are great for.
It used to be a really nice gift.
I
as
think
well,
you're
didn't
right.
it?
Yeah.
Like a 12-month subscription to digital photos, and that was a really nice gift for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now I'd most probably get them a subscription to the Raw Room. Plug.
The wife's got an app.
Actually, to be fair, when I sort of started my YouTube channel, that was one of the things I was thinking about, is we can take some of this away from digital, because print media is obviously struggling and it's been overtaken by digital media, isn't it?
Yeah.
Video included in that. And I don't think a lot of them have transitioned very well, have
They
they?
haven't. I mean, a question for you: well, you may most probably say, well, I never do, but when have you actually picked up a newspaper and read it? When last
I mean,
time?
I don't. Not
No.
for a long time.
No. But for somebody who traditionally, I used to like reading the paper. I don't read the paper now physically. I read it online.
Yeah, I think I'm sure I heard someone talking about the photo magazines and saying that they have a circulation of 20 to 30,000, something like that. Now, it's not a lot.
That's nothing,
No.
is it? No.
When you think about how many views our YouTube videos do
Yeah.
in just 1 week.
And it's funny because people take a lot of pride though in being in the magazine.
Yeah.
Even some of the big landscape photographers, even the big landscape vloggers that have been featured. But who's doing who the favour there? If you understand me, I mean, if somebody who's big, so we'll use you as an example, and you are featured in their magazine, you're really doing them the favour, aren't you? If you plug it on your channel rather than the other way around.
I've been featured a couple of times in some of them, and I didn't get particularly excited about it.
No.
like and I'm not trying to be modest or anything. It's just that it's not something that excited me. It was
No.
there's other things that I've done where I feel like I'm lucky, and that felt much more exciting than that. Partly just because print media is not something I've been engaged with for so long.
No.
See, personally, I can understand why people would be excited with that.
Oh, absolutely,
I
yeah.
can. I mean, if and this is not a plug, but to see yourself in print, to see your images in print, and in something that you can hold on to, that you can put in a drawer and bring it out 20 years later, I like that. I'd be proud.
I do as well, I must
I'd be
admit.
proud of myself if that was me.
Yeah.
And
It's like if you've ever seen yourself on TV,
Yeah.
like at a football match, you pause it. There I am.
What in the crowd?
Yeah, there's a couple of times I got caught on TV in
When
as
the
a police,
policeman, yeah.
as a police officer as well. That I still to this day. I've actually found the footage. I might use it in a YouTube video.
That'd be good.
Because it was during the Queen's Diamond Jubilee when she did the boat
Yeah.
all right.
procession.
Yeah. Was that when you were really good looking and all the women put?
Yeah, it was,
fit.
it was a bit after that, so I put
So it was
a chunk
about
on by then.
20 years ago.
But but it was a shot of the Houses of Parliament as they're coming under Westminster Bridge, and I'm stood there, and I'm just a dot. I'm this little yellow dot.
Yeah.
I remember where I was stood. I've still got that
And
footage.
you said that was me.
That was me. That was me.
You have to, I've got no way of proving it's me, because if you zoom in, it goes.
It's not.
Just like a few yellow pixels.
Did you have a beard then?
But couldn't you tell it were you
No.
because there was all the girls hanging around you?
No, I did have some nice women around me who were
Yeah, you
faced-
said.
coping with the rain to get.
Yeah, but he's got no evidence. It's just him telling us this.
Do you know what I've got? Though? I've still got my. I mentioned the tunic. I've still got my tunic, which doesn't even nearly fit me now.
Right.
So
Oh, that's good.
It proves how
They don't fit you,
I
but
was,
you
yeah.
still kept it.
There's lots of things
I'll never
about,
get in it
about
again.
Adam's past that he tells us, but,
Yeah, but
we're not
we don't-
really sure if it's true.
Don't believe a word he says, do we?
It's like that guitar. He has
Yeah.
a guitar. We can all do that. I have a
Yeah.
guitar. I got a tambourine hanging up. But if you want me to play the tambourine for you, I can play the tambourine and a triangle without a problem.
We're in Adam's living room at the moment, and he's got a guitar in the front room, and his excuse is, "Oh, the strings aren't right." Was it? The strings aren't right. They broke.
The E strings come off. But
Oh, the E string.
maybe I wasn't even a cop. Maybe I made that. Up.
No, I believe that. I do. I believe that you're a copper, and I also believe that at one time you were young. The rest you got to convince us.
The thin bit we're not so sure about, but the young bit, yeah.
It's there. Even the thin bit I can understand, but these girls.
You're in my house, but you still haven't seen my wife and kids.
No, are we going to get out alive? That's the thing.
Well, look, turning it around ever so slightly, on a positive note, when it comes to perhaps the lack of magazines, we have this e-book system now, don't we? Isn't it a fantastic world now, how you could, if you had the time, actually sit down and write out an e-magazine, put it together, compile it, whether it's with just your pictures or yours and your friends' pictures, and actually bring it out on a monthly basis if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You have the ability to do that
It takes a lot of work.
It's
though,
a
doesn't
lot of
Oh,
work because
absolutely.
it's the advertising revenue which is what they make the money on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is convincing people to start a magazine, an e-magazine from nothing, to bringing in a living.
Yeah, but for you to get for your work to get
But that's
featured in a
the equivalent-
magazine, that takes a lot of hard work on your behalf.
Yeah.
Or you get lucky with a magazine approaching you. Let's be honest, but more often than not, you're approaching a magazine. Can you please show off my work because it's brilliant? But that's a hard thing to do.
Isn't that what F-Stoppers is now and Petapixel and those sort of blog? That's what a blog is, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know how F-Stoppers and that. But you can pay F-Stoppers now to feature your video, can't you?
I think so.
I'm not 100% certain, but and then people are thinking, well, that's brilliant because you're on F-Stoppers, but that's down to your budget.
I mean, I've been on there a few times and never paid.
No.
So but I think companies can pay
Yeah,
for a feature.
it was yourself that was telling me. I'm sure.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
Let's find out. Let's
but-
monetize this channel. Take some of the money and get them to
Well, with the
get
12
F-Stoppers to feature the photo.
with the
nerds.
2 million views we get a week, we don't need to monetize it, do we?
Just,
Oh dear.
We keep mentioning monetizing our podcast.
We mentioned it.
What does that mean for people who might be put off by the mere thought that we're talking about monetizing the podcast.
I think it's that unique thing that people think if you're working on YouTube or whatever, or podcast land, that you do it for free.
I think we will need to monetize. I think if we want to keep doing it, personally, I think if we want to keep doing this, we need to try and make it easier for ourselves.
But it's not going to detract from the content, though, is it?
I think
if anything, it will increase the content.
That's what we said.
Because some money will come in. We can pay someone else to do the editing, so we can just focus on chatting rubbish.
Yeah, which is what we said off camera.
We could potentially do an outdoor vlog with someone helping us. I don't think any of us are looking to get rich off this.
I don't think it's going to.
But it's just about making it as easy as possible for us and allow us to keep doing it.
I think
nothing happens for free.
We're not kidding ourselves that we're going to make a living from this, but we enjoy getting together, don't we? Three people having a chat, having a laugh, because it blows a lot of steam of everyday life.
Yeah.
Three lads getting together, not necessarily getting completely roaring drunk either, and we laugh and we joke over a coffee. But to do that, there are cost implications. If we want to make things a bit slicker. So what we'd end up doing is any money. So if you ever see us sponsored, which we're not at the moment, or monetizing, any money that we get is going back into production, and so it looks a bit easier on your eyes and for us to do all the little
we're
things.
all giving up time to do this when we could be spending that time earning money, couldn't we? So it's not like
absolutely.
So if we can kind of earn a bit of money on this from this podcast to make it better and to allow us to keep doing it, I hope people will understand that.
Yeah. And if they don't.
Yeah.
Go and watch something else.
Yeah.
Go and watch Fronos, who earns millions.
I'm not sure he does. To be
I don't know how much he's on. I don't know. I was saying this to Gary, actually, when we were coming over here. If you want to become rich on YouTube, don't go into landscape photography, because the people who are earning millions on YouTube and the millions of subscribers talking absolute rubbish about everything, and they're the ones that are making lots and lots of money.
Just make camera gear reviews. I think that's the way to just do that.
I was saying, if you want to earn a lot of money, buy a 4x4 and show yourself doing it up, and then you'll have 2 million views within a few months.
I was talking to my friends about this the other day, because we've just started doing a bit of gaming again, because Santa Claus brought my daughter a Nintendo Switch for Christmas.
Cool.
And I've started having a little go of it. So we've started doing a bit of online gaming again, which we used to do quite a lot when we were kind of...
What, with the Nintendo?
But we used to do it a long time ago with our PCs when we were like 18 to sort of 22 or something.
Yeah, well, you could do an old man gamers YouTube channel, couldn't you?
Yeah, do you think?
Yeah.
But we were saying, I said I can't watch gaming channels on YouTube because I kind of wish I'd done that.
Yeah.
Because we used to be quite all right at gaming, and we were obviously that first generation of gamers.
You'd have been a multi-millionaire by now, because they are.
Yeah, that's my point.
They are.
So I feel a bit sorry for myself that I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
So what sort of games are you going to play then? Online, you mean, against your friends?
Well, we are doing now. We play a bit of Rocket League, which is a game like...
Is that the one with the cars? Football? Yeah, I
yeah.
play that, but not on the Nintendo Switch. I play it on the PS4 with some son.
Yeah, but it's
good fun, that.
It's cross-platform, so you can...
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Let me know, invite me.
So I used to play...
There's no way.
I'll play it.
I'm good.
Anyway, we've finally digressed away from photography.
Thank
I know,
heavens
of course. But, there's more ways easier. Let's put it this way. I think there's honestly easier ways to make money than YouTube. You're never going to get rich. Well, there is. Doing YouTube photography. We do it for the love of it.
But if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Does that conclude this?
I think it does, yeah. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, I think that was great. Thanks for listening.
And check out the details down below to find out when we're going to be getting together.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. If you can all come, that'd be great. And we've been accused of not having, we're not our guests, but lady interaction would be good, wouldn't it? If we could get a couple of...
And young people.
Yeah, young people come along, and you can ask the questions and we can interact with you guys as well, done, ladies.
I also got accused on that recent video of not giving back to the vlogging community as well. So there you go.
Yeah, you're gonna turn up for free. Yeah.
Imagine if everybody no, I won't go there.
Well, go on, say it.
No, I mean, imagine if everybody that grates us on Facebook or whatever actually turned up on the
You know
night.
what? Honestly, that would be brilliant because to finish on, if they came and they called us as much as they do on the comments, I could handle that.
Yeah.
Because I could call them back. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And we'd have a laugh and they'd look at us and they'd laugh and say, oh, get stuff.
We want a thumbs down
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
Come and tell us why you gave us a thumbs
Maybe we
down.
can call it that.
That would be awesome.
Come
wouldn't
to
it?
our thumbs down night.
That's
Have a
what we'll
thumbs
call
down
it.
night.
That's
Yeah.
what we'll call it, the Thumbs Down Podcast Night.
Yeah, thumbs down. Yeah,
With,
awesome.
with Gary Adam and Gobshite. it rhymes, you get it? Podcast Night with Gary Adam and Gobshite.
yeah.
Perfect.
Job done. Finish on that.